Hey guys, welcome to the Open Room Podcast. I'm Iman.
I'm Gabby Taylor, trying to get rid of my last name.
And we are here for episode 1.
Yes.
Today we're going to talk about, drumroll please,
Friendship.
friendship.
Specifically, building and starting friendships, which is interesting. I mean, okay, Iman and I are both 28.
Sorry.
Did you not like that one?
That was really sour. Sorry.
This is supposed to be our, like, jar of
Candy.
vulnerable candy. Like, when you're vulnerable, you get a piece, but Iman's just been eating
But if
this,
you're
so-
hungry, you can also take a piece.
Well, that defeats the purpose.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
But I'm going to be vulnerable the whole time, so I might as well just catch up on my candy.
Okay, well, then you can do that, and I'll just eat it when I'm vulnerable.
Okay, go ahead. So we're 28.
Yes, so we're 28, and yeah, I think I have this theory that people are not great at becoming friends with people, especially after school. Like, I just feel like after school, people just don't know how to do it, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, even in this life stage, say you're starting over, moving to a new state, and
Sounds about right. Well, you would know about that.
exactly.
I was going to ask you, how is it for you making new friends? Because I think we both can agree that me and Gabby, sorry, I suck. Okay.
Wow, how much did you?
You
You
know, it's
can't
just
have any
stuck in
more
your
of this.
teeth.
No, we're done. I can only eat this from now on. How long
No,
does it
hold
take you
on.
to chew?
It's in the back of my teeth.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see.
You know?
Yeah, I
I'm trying
understand.
to be cheesing.
I understand. Sorry.
I think Gabby and I can both agree that we are somewhat social butterflies, even if we don't naturally tend to be.
Mm-hmm.
We can put ourselves in certain situations, have conversations with people, and be social.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there are some people that are not like that, that feel, I could be shy at times, but I think there are people that it's so hard for them to get outside of themselves. Maybe they have social anxiety, yeah, it's just, or maybe they have some friendships, but it's hard for them to go deep with people.
Mm-hmm.
So speak from your perspective of just like being the social butterfly that you are, but also like, I'm sure maybe you weren't always like that.
Mm-hmm.
What has helped you to be where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, man, it would be cool if we had like words to define, and we may already have that, and I just don't know. But to define like what type of friend you are, like what is your friendship personality?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I really do love people. Like, I think people are like great, but I do have a level of social anxiety too. So for me, it's not natural as much as it is like I prepare, and through practice, I'm better at it.
Preparing
But
how?
like, I'm like, for example, a little over a year ago, when I first came down to visit here, I knew, okay, the church that I'm going to here is bigger, so I need to connect with people beforehand, so I don't go to church and I'm overwhelmed and I just want to like leave after, like, there's going to be so many people, they're going to be talking to each other and not me.
Right.
So I reached out to people ahead of time because I want to be able to connect with people like when I get there. And so for me, I like plan things before I go into social situations so that I'm not like sitting on the couch by myself, like, or isolating, because yeah, otherwise I would just be in some weird conversation.
Not gonna lie to you, sometimes I do that, but sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll just wing it. Or, yeah, low key, like maybe I'll just wing it, because sometimes I'll go into town and like I don't plan on saying anything to anyone until I actually get to church and then meet some people, But I like your way better because it relieves, it takes off the stress,
Yeah,
of like,
for
or
sure.
the pressure.
It's like people, because also people, here's the thing. When you're moving somewhere or you're going somewhere and you want to make friends or connect with people, you're interrupting their life. Like, they may already have plans with their friends, their family, whatever. And so Yeah, you just can't bet on. At least I can't.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
and I just can't trust that in a moment I'm gonna come up with like the courage to like speak to someone or what. Like, hopefully I will, but what are the odds that person's free? Like, you never know. So, yeah. So I plan. So
that's a really good point. Wow.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about how I like start connecting with people and build friendships. But yeah, what about you?
What do I do? I'm like, I really don't know.
Yeah, because you've also been here.
I've been here for a very long time. Yeah. So I think it's been a very long time since I've come to a church and had to just not know anyone and make new friends. Even when I came, like when I was in the campus ministry in Miami, I came to Broward. Like once I graduated, moved to Broward. The only people I knew were like 2 people, and I knew of other people because of the Tri-County stuff. Like I'd seen them, but I didn't really know anyone. And so then I was like, wow, I actually have to fight to go hang out with people. I have to. It was. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was actually really hard a little bit in the beginning for me. Yeah, it was really hard because I'm an introvert and I'm shy. So like, I leaned on my 2 friendships that I had. Yeah. And they were more connected and plugged in, so it was easier for me to like be at events and stuff. You know. Yeah. But it was hard. It was definitely hard at first. So, but I think once I do have friendships and once there are new people coming in, like I think it's easier for me to try to connect with new people because I'm like I always remember what it felt like to be that new person like coming into a space or whatever. So I always want people to feel like like they've been here for forever.
Aww, like, yeah, and you do that really well. Like you're like very warm, and you were very welcoming when I got here.
But you know what's so funny, and it's great that it was you too, because I was gonna say like I think sometimes people can take that and it's more of an expectation that's created out of that because it's like I was maybe super friendly, already making the person feel like we were best friends off jump. Yeah, and then it's like maybe I'm the only person that they're really connected to or plugged in.
Exactly,
you know? And
for
so
sure.
I'm like, make more friends. I was just a starting point.
Yeah,
you know? So
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's why I think it's like important to like encourage people to build friendships because so here's something that I'm finding. And again, I was
vulnerable, so I can take this. Thanks.
Okay, whatever. Here's something I'm finding, and it's hard for me to like not accept, but I guess like talk a lot about. But it's important to have a good number of friends because, like, let's say I moved here. Actually, this is the case, right? I moved here. You have a lot of friends. Say I like have one conversation with you and then I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, meaning on like she's like my person. And then every event I want to stand with you, like I want to get time with you every couple days, whatever. You're the person I call when I'm going through anything. That's going to create like this, first of all, it's going to create an unhealthy attachment to you. And 2, then I'm going to be dependent on you in a way that isn't healthy because you can't give me all that. Like you are able to spread out maybe your needs amongst your friends, your good number of friends. But if all of my needs, I get them met by you, like that's not going to be great in the long run. And so I don't know. I just currently feel like people do need a good number of friends because if you're just dependent on one person and say that person's going through something or whatever, like if you're at a disadvantage because like they're going through something, that's not good, you know? So I don't know. I just feel like people need a good number of friends, and that takes time to build. So
do you feel like we've answered the question of like how you make those friends?
No, not at all.
So how do we make those friends? Honestly, just from, I feel like it's probably hard for me to speak in this because like we said, we're the social butterflies. Maybe it's a little bit more easier. We know more people now, but I think for me, it was helpful to rely on some of those friends, right? But not to... Is rely and depend the same thing? Because I'm like, maybe rely on them in the beginning, but I can't depend on them to help me further my other friendships. Like, they're almost just like a
catalyst. Like
like just to get me in front of someone's face, low key. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the 2 people that I knew, they had already known a little bit more people than me, maybe more social, more like outgoing than me. So it was easier for me to jump into a conversation with someone else if
Yeah.
they were nearby or if they had started the conversation.
Right. That makes sense.
But I definitely wasn't looking at it as like, great, you've helped me start all my friendships. Now I'm just with you. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like,
Right. Yeah.
it was, you're right. It's helpful to have many people in your life,
Mhm.
you know, not just like one person.
Yeah.
And, you know, there may be some people watching this that like living a loner life, that maybe I just have my 1 or 2 friends and I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great. But I think what I'm also realizing, I think more specifically within our lives and our lifestyle of just being Christians, like, we're not meant to do life by ourselves,
Mhm.
you know? And I think a community is great, you know,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I have lots of friends, but if I only had 2 of them, I would think, I think I'll be okay, but maybe I'll be missing some perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Even if I think about, like, I have friends that are older, you know, like, like over 10 years older than me,
Yeah.
and like they can give me so many more life experiences, like their journeys or their stories
Mhm.
are able to, I want to say, impact me in a bigger way, or help me to have hope in some way than a peer would.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wow, you've been there, done that, like, you dated and broken up,
Yeah.
like, okay, great, you get it, like, or you lost your job and this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
just so many things that, like, I don't know, I think there's just a benefit in having, like you said, multiple friends, but also maybe of different ages.
Yeah.
And it's hard. How do you make those friends, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe work, no longer school if you're out of school.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I would have only made these friendships through the church. Like, I would have not been friends with someone 20, 30 years
Yeah,
older than me.
For sure.
You know, like,
Yeah.
it's like, low-key, what do we have in common? But what we have in common is, like, everything, which
Yeah.
is Christ. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's the best.
Right.
you know?
Yeah. No, I think, yeah, church gives us a huge opportunity to connect with different kinds of people. And, but I think one, it starts with our mindset. Like, we have to
Yeah.
have a mind where we want friendships, you know, of different
Right.
kinds
Yeah.
and different ages. And then we have to initiate, like,
Mhm.
and a part of initiating means that we're not making the friendship about us. Like, we are going to be a friend to someone
I like
and not
that.
just be like, I want them to be my friend.
I
I
like
want them to be
that.
a good friend to me. But, like, yeah, I think there's some quote about, like, if you want friends, you need to make yourself friendly. Like, and so,
I like that.
yeah, I think that's what not everybody knows how to do.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a lot that it takes, I think. And there's friendship researchers, actually, like, there's papers on it, there's books on it about friendship. But I think people know and talk more about, like, relationships and, like, dating and marriage and all that stuff. So because of that, I think people know a lot about, like, oh, how do I make a dating relationship work? How do I make a marriage work? That's a conversation, but not friendships. But I think, how is that a lesser relationship? It actually
Yeah.
does take a lot of work to have a good friendship.
Right. And
Not
even
easy.
to help fund those other relationships, it starts with a friendship.
No,
You know, it
literally.
should start with a friendship
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
You know, so how is it even possible for us to get to that stage if I don't even know you as my friend?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And as you were talking, just so many things popped up or I thought of, but I was like, how do you know how to be a friend, right? Like how you were talking about, like, you
Wow.
know,
Yeah.
not just going into like, how do I make friends, but like, how can I be a friend to someone?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also like, how do you be a good friend?
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
I'm finding that, like, I mean, we all live our own personal lives, and the decisions we make are just really revolved around us.
Yeah,
And
for
sometimes we
sure.
don't know how that may influence people, or maybe we don't consider people the way that we should,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, yeah, how can I be a good friend in a world where I'm told it's all about me, and
yeah.
I'm just in my head a lot,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's hard. Well, one, I think with starting friendships, again, it's getting outside of yourself. It's like talking to people. Honestly, mastering small talk is, like, really important. It's also
Wow.
really hard. Like,
But some people don't like small talk, though.
yeah, but sorry, I feel passionate about this.
Go ahead.
I have a
Do your thing,
family
girl.
member who's not good at it. My sister knows who I'm talking about. We love this person, but
Someone that's not good at small talk.
not good at
What do
it.
you mean? Like they walk
Only
away?
wants to do deep. Yeah.
Like they
Like,
walk away if someone starts having small talk?
no, but they'll just switch the conversation and be like very deep. Here's the thing. Okay. Small talk is important because it is like how you get to deeper.
Right.
Right? But
Yeah.
like say I go up to you and I'm like, "Hey, like what's your deepest fear?"
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer
let's
that.
talk about
Yeah.
basketball. Let's talk about
Yeah.
makeup. Let's talk about the weather.
But
Like,
see, then you get into a better. Now we're getting into a debate of do people even know how to communicate, like to have conversations?
yeah.
Because you're right. Like small talk doesn't have to be bad. I think if it's only small talk all the
For
time,
sure, that's bad. Yeah.
then that's like okay,
both
red flag.
both are deeper.
Yeah.
Both are not great.
Yeah.
Like,
right. Yeah. It's like a nice little balance.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool to have small talk to lead into that, right? Like a progression of conversation, the progression of friendship. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, sometimes small talk can be awkward and
Yeah. It's if you don't know what to say, but
right.
whatever. There's so much to that. I don't even know like how to get into it, but yeah, I think people need to like start off talk about different things that you can just easily connect on. Yeah, and then like invite them to your home. Like go get coffee, like have an experience together. Like that helps build a friendship. And I think there will be a point where you get to a place where you have to talk about the friendship, like, because when you get there, you'll learn how to be a good friend. Like you can say, hey, like, have I been a good friend to you? How can I be a better friend to you?
Right.
And that person may be like, hey, I actually don't feel like you listen to me that well, you know, like, or this was going on with, I don't know, my sister and I wish that you had asked about it. Like just different things like that
Yeah.
you learn by asking.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I don't know. Do you have that in your friendships? Like how have you learned how to be a good friend? Because you are, so it's kind of like, this is just natural for you.
No, I mean, honestly, I guess I don't think of it in that way of like, how can I be a good friend? Maybe I should. Maybe I'd be an even better friend if I tried. But, yeah, I don't really think I think of it. Like, I guess I don't think of myself as a bad friend unless someone tells me, right? So I'm just going to assume that I've been doing fine as a friend, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense.
But how to be a good friend, I mean, I just think that I think it's just going to take intentionality, but also self-denial at times.
Yeah.
You know, like to pick up the phone when you really don't feel like talking.
Yeah.
And just listening to people, you know. And I think time also, you know, like there have been friends that have moved and that I still like wanted to keep in contact with them. So I was like, oh, let's like set up time to talk, right? And some of my friendships have actually grown deeper because of the separation.
Yeah.
Like I talked to them maybe more with them gone than when they were here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's helped. There are other friendships where maybe not so much, you know, but I think showing the intentionality. And another thing is too, like when you're with someone, showing them that you're interested, making them feel like
that part.
I'm listening to you, like I'm not paying attention, like nothing else is distracting us from this time.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah, I think if I just had to take like a step outside of like, okay, maybe how are some of the ways that God has allowed me to be a good friend, I think it's more so just like that. Like when I'm with them, I'm in awe of the conversation and like, you know, I'm here with you, you know, we're there.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I also think it comes with chemistry too, because like chemistry with friends, you know, like, because there are people that I've tried with, I've been intentional with, and sometimes it's cool, and I think maybe that person feels love, but maybe I don't feel like
for sure
like they're my friend.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's a it's gonna sound weird, but it's like someone can see you as a friend, but maybe you don't necessarily see them as that.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that also comes with like maybe interests, and I don't know, like for example, like I had
that's hard for me.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, there was a person that I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. Maybe I was just really tired this day, and I don't think she noticed because she was so just talking about herself, honestly.
Yeah.
And I just remember I was just falling asleep
Dang.
Yes, I was just like, I was falling asleep.
Dang,
I felt
she
so
must have
bad.
been talking for a long
But
time.
I don't think she noticed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't think she noticed because like she was still talking. Like she wouldn't stop to like try to wake me. Like I'm
Dang.
like literally I probably would just be
Oh
like,
my gosh.
you know, I don't know if she noticed.
Yeah.
She didn't say anything, so I assume she didn't notice. But after that I was like, all right, every time I'm with this person, I need to pay attention. I need to be up. I need to be alert. I need to be awake.
Yeah.
You know? And that's another thing too, sorry, like sometimes I think people we have to admit that sometimes people don't pick up on social cues or don't pick up on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So sometimes some of these tips may not work for certain people because of just people are different, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
So this is what I'm like. This is hard for me. Okay, there's two things. I am like analytical, very strategic. Like I really don't like that because it makes me feel like I'm not like genuine, authentic, very like things happen organically. I'm very planned and I wish I wasn't. Like I wish I was
Planned
like
in your time with people?
like yeah, like the things that I do I plan. And yeah, like I said, I prepare before I go somewhere. Like I'm thinking about questions I'll ask people, like because I'm just not naturally loving. Like I'm naturally selfish. I'm naturally like whatever. So I have to plan to be a different way.
Oh,
yeah.
Gabby.
Well, you know, it's whatever. It's sad. It's pathetic. But you know, this is how we try to follow scripture. But so I'm saying this to say, like, some people do need the detailed like tips, and yeah, some people are not going to read social cues. So those people need to be told what they're doing and how it's affecting someone. Like we want people to read us. We want people to like be good at things naturally, and they're just not. Like, and they need to be told things so that they can change. And yeah, so that kind of sucks. And so the other thing is why I was making all the faces is like, I totally agree even with the situation you're sharing about, but I think it's hard for me when people say that there has to be like chemistry, because most of my friendships until maybe like 2-3 years ago, I had never experienced that. I've never experienced like a spark, not with a girlfriend, like a guy, sure, you know, whatever, but like not with a girl, you know. I mean, maybe one guy, but yeah, like those are rare for me to have like, oh, we just connect, and you know, and so a lot of my friendships I've had to fight for, and we just were very different. And I think because I've seen like beauty in those friendships where we have nothing in common, we don't get along, like, and we like learn how to love each other through the differences, and we call each other higher, like, hey, like when you're texting all the time when I'm talking to you, I feel hurt, you know, like, and then that person changes. And so seeing the beauty of how people can change, and two people can love each other even though they were different or actually have nothing in common, like no common interest, is like I think because that's my story, I just don't believe in the chemistry thing. And because again, obviously that's easier, but I think that people believing that is what can create distance. Like even in church, even in our ministry, like if you were like, oh, that person's cool, but like we don't really have much in common, so I'm not really gonna like invite them to hang out. Like I think that, not that that's what you're saying, but like I think that kind of mentality can like seep in, and then that prevents us from just loving people and just like believing that we can be friends.
That makes sense. And so maybe it's not so much of like if chemistry exists or it doesn't. Maybe it's just the timing of it. Like, is someone willing to
that part
continue to
the willingness
seek out this friendship if they don't feel the initial chemistry, you know, like if it takes time, you know.
So I think that does discourage people.
I think luckily for me, a lot of my closer friendships, like the chemistry was very quick because of potentially interest, or also honestly like maybe interest, but also just like time, because one of my close friends, actually I have to hit her up, I haven't talked to her in a while, but sorry, that sucks. But one of my close friends, long story short, she was my manager when I used to work at H&M. And when she was just my manager, we were cool, like, but there was nothing that kind of like drew us to be closer, you know. I guess I'm not saying initial chemistry of just like we have a conversation and we're like, oh, okay, girl, let's be friends.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until she started like coming out to church, visiting the church, and like falling in love with God, and we had those conversations that I was like, wow, like, because maybe I also just looked at her as like my manager for a very long time. Like maybe I never saw a friendship with her because she was my manager.
Yeah.
But once she started coming out, like once we started hanging out outside of work, and that's actually, this is another good point too. Like whatever your setting is with this person when you're getting to know them, you should hang out with them in different settings.
Yeah, very true.
Because like, let's say if I just have a work friend, like I think we grow deeper if we hang out outside work.
Right, very true.
You know, and versus even church. Like I think I grow closer with people when I'm outside of church because it's like I am bound to see you at church. Like there's what I've done. But it's like, am I being intentional outside of those times to spend time with you? So I think that probably also plays a role.
Yes.
You know?
It's like kind of not being a lazy friend. Like that's like convenience. If it's like, oh, when we're here, like we're friends
and we're talking up a storm when
we're
here.
But but I think friendship is it's outside of that. It's when you check in on each other. It's like that you're texting, you know what's going on in each other's lives, you plan time together, like and yes, it takes time to get there, but a part of that is that intentionality that you were talking about. So I think that
like me and you
sense.
hung out outside of church, right?
When
I think when I first met you, I didn't even meet you at church. I met you outside.
No, we did.
Clearly, I met you through church, but like, no, I didn't meet you at church.
Yes, huh?
No,
it was an undivided night, and then after we went, it was because we rang in my birthday.
I thought I just met you straight at Taco Craft.
You just met us there. You didn't go to undivided night that night.
I don't remember. No.
Oh, okay, well, that's where the rest of us were leaving. It's possible.
Okay,
that
maybe
it's possible.
I did.
Because here's the thing: when you came up to me, you were like, "You're this short." Do you remember that?
I said that at Taco Craft.
Yeah, outside of it.
Okay, so maybe I did.
So maybe you had just came.
Maybe I had something else and I just came. Yeah, that's true.
So that's possible.
That was when I first met you, though.
Yes.
I said that to you.
Yeah.
When I first met you.
Yeah.
No.
You were like, you, and then you asked like, "Who's taller, me or Tamara?" It was something like that. It was something about my height.
Let me ask you though. When I met you though, was it when I lost my aunt's bracelet? Was that when I first met you?
Oh my God.
Or was that after Taco Craft when you guys were at the house? Remember that?
At the house.
At the guy's old house. At the triplex.
Oh.
Remember that?
Okay. Yes,
remember when I came in, I was upset I lost my bracelet.
Oh my gosh, that was then. That was heartbreaking. So this was before that.
Taco Craft before that.
Taco Craft was like Friday night.
Got it.
And then my birthday was Saturday.
Yes.
And then Sunday they had the game night at their house.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I found it though.
No.
I found it.
But okay, sorry.
Unless this is a different time when you came down again. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know because I didn't see you the first time you came down.
Right.
You come down twice though.
Yes. Game night was the first time I came.
Yes.
The second time I came, maybe that was Sunday.
So maybe I didn't see you at game night. The second
game night you weren't there because I took a Polaroid of everybody.
Right.
Yeah, but the second time, I went to their house to hang out.
Yes.
And you were there.
I just don't know if that was after Taco Craft.
It was after, 100%. Yeah. Because that Friday night, I flew in, drove straight to Undivided, then we went to Taco Craft.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Hilarious.
Wow.
The fact that was the first thing I said to you, that's crazy. I have no shame. My gosh.
People are usually very shocked by my height, so.
Yeah, I guess I assumed that you were taller than Tamara. I don't know why.
No, we're the exact same
You know, you see
height.
people's pictures, you just kind of like...
Maybe it's because I'm her older sister, like you would think.
Maybe.
People really think that...
But now I don't know who's older and who's younger between both of y'all. I mean, clearly I know you're older, but I'm saying, like...
Oh.
I'm saying if I did not know that and I just saw you guys, I probably would assume Tamara was.
Okay.
Just maybe based off a little bit of the height.
Okay.
But that's dumb.
But we're the same height.
I think she's 1 inch taller than Gabby.
She's literally not. She's not. We've taken videos. We've gone to the doctor.
Not you getting offended on this video.
I'm like...
Proof for her to see.
Opportunity for reconciliation and forgiveness.
No, but didn't you say she's 1 inch?
No. She's literally not.
So she says that she's the same height as you?
Yes, we've measured.
I feel like I thought you guys said one is... I thought you guys were fighting over that, like one person is taller.
Yeah, like we fight over it, but we like have measured it and we're like, okay, we're literally the same height.
I don't know. Okay, even if you're the same height, the way it looks, the way it looks.
No, we're not.
The way it looks when you guys are side by side.
It looks like we're the same height. Because we are. Like, I don't understand.
Okay. Well, we'll give it to you.
The disrespect. They be trying to make me shorter than I am.
We'll give you the same height. We'll give that to you.
Whatever. Okay.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
hang out outside of where you originally met.
Okay. Well, we're changing courses here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever, has a friendship ever become more than friends? Like, have you ever? Okay, so let's say you're making friendships. It's going great.
Mm-hmm.
You're finding chemistry with some people, some you're not, but you're working towards that chemistry, whatever. Have you ever gotten to a place where you're like, wow, especially with more so with the opposite sex, clearly,
Mm-hmm.
I could see this being more than a friend.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? What have you done?
Okay. I feel like when you meet people, you put them in categories. Potential and not potential. You know
Got
what
it.
I'm
So
saying?
even before you become friends with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then as the friendship develops, you get to figure out, oh, like, is this something, whatever.
Okay.
What do? I don't know.
So you've never been friends with someone, not seen them in that way, so you didn't put them in a category?
No.
Really?
That's never happened to me. That's why when
Wow.
people are like, oh, if you don't like anyone, maybe it'll like change, it'll grow in you. I'm like, never in my 28 years has that ever happened to me.
Wow.
Never. Yeah, it's always been like either there or not. So
Wow.
yeah.
Hmm.
But so I'm not that way yet.
Okay. It's
I don't want to
possible.
change, but yeah.
It's possible.
I
That's
just wanna-
actually, it's happened to me.
Yeah.
I think a few times.
Mhm.
One in high school.
The Lord took the scales off. He said, "Look."
I know. One in high school. It's like whatever though.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you talking to someone. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But like I was not attracted to him.
Hmm.
But we were really good friends, really fun friends. And all of a sudden, I started liking him because we were like really good friends. His personality was great. And I'm like, how do I like you? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. He's a great guy, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not lying.
Yeah. I will say though, this is tough. I still have my
The glow-ups?
categories.
You gonna say the
No.
glow-ups? Oh, okay.
The more, I hate vulnerability.
What? Go ahead.
But
girl.
like, the more like spiritual the person, the more I'm like, wow.
like
I
you
mean,
can overlook.
yeah. I mean, I'm not really like. I don't think I'm like. I don't know. I don't think I'm as big on looks as other people. I think I take interest more like the more spiritual they are. I'm like, oh. I'm like, wow, you knew that scripture.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that.
So.
That's
yeah,
true.
but
That is true. I will say I agree with that.
yeah.
Because,
so-
like, yeah, I've, like, let's say if someone has gotten baptized, I'm not saying this is anyone that we know, but, like, if someone first got, like, I've experienced this where it's like, I never really even looked at them like that when they first got baptized. But then when I actually sit down, hear their story, hear them talk about their relationship with God, all these things, I'm like,
right,
oh,
Yeah.
you know, like, that was different.
right.
But I think that's the beauty in, like, when your life has changed in God, like, we're no longer just relying on the physical.
Literally, yeah.
And it's like, wow, like, I like you because you look like God to me. Like,
that
that, and the fact that, like, there goes to show how powerful God is and, like, his character, how powerful his character is, because if someone is starting to, like, look like God,
wow,
like, it's like, this don't even matter.
right?
You know?
No, literally,
It's just
no,
like, wow.
it literally doesn't. So, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, okay.
But I don't know. I was gonna say, you also can
But
tell
let me ask
when
you.
someone isn't being sincere about it, like
Okay.
when it's genuine or not. So sometimes I
Sincere
find
about
that.
what?
Like their faith or their walk with God, or like they're over spiritualizing things. Like you can tell when someone's like deeply in love with God and when someone's kind of putting on a front a little bit, and it's got to be
Really?
genuine. Yeah, I can. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, or
Huh.
yeah,
I definitely could tell the over spiritualizing, but sometimes when people are over spiritual, I don't know if they're putting on a front or if they're just super passionate and zealous. Like, it's hard for me to tell the difference.
oh, not for me. Usually,
Really?
I think because you can tell when guys are maybe trying to impress you, and then they're like doing different things, and it's like, just for example, have you ever seen like a guy that's like trying to like act tough or act like super cool and it doesn't fit his vibe at all. It's like that. It's like you put on a coat that doesn't look right on you.
I see.
So it's like, I don't know.
A coat that doesn't look right.
Yeah, whatever. So
I can see that.
But that's the thing, right? It's just there has to be this sincere relationship with God where it just pours out off of you. And that's like more attractive. So whatever. So I don't know.
But to go back to your first question, your first thought of like, you put people in categories. What is that based off of? Is it based off of just looking at them? Like, oh, that's an attractive person. If I were to get to know them as a friend, I'm already thinking like I would like it to be more because I'm attracted to them. Yeah. Or is it like based off of conversation that you put them in the categories?
Good question. Yeah. I think originally, right, you may see someone, there's like a light category, right? And then you talk to them and they could be in a completely different category. Like you could see someone attractive, you talk to them, you're like, oh, okay, no, right?
That's true.
And you could see someone that's like you don't know if you're attracted to them, and you talk to them, you're like, whoa, absolutely, you know. So yeah, I think it's case by case.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Case by case.
But for you, it's just you're just friends with people, and then eventually grows.
Not gonna lie to you, I don't think I had anything like that where it's like I see someone, put him in a category. I think it's like I literally have just become friends with them. Wow. And then like I start to see them differently.
Wow. You know? That's kind of a cool world to live in.
It is cool. That's why I want to be with my best friend. Like that's why I really want that, because it's more it's long lasting in my mind, because it's like I like you not because of you being in a relationship with me. Right, it's like no, like I know you for who you were before we even went there. Right, you know.
Yeah. Very true. So good.
I think I connect more with that versus getting to know someone so that we can date. Like you know, getting to know. Like I hate that.
For sure.
And honestly, that's why I don't. Even when I think about like dating, and again, I'm like, ugh. I know I'm gonna get back out there just to meet someone, but it's like I don't like the idea of like, let's go on a date and I don't even know you, but it's like the idea is like to get there with you. I don't know. Yeah. I could be wrong, because I've also talked to people where it has been that and it was actually great and we connected in a lot of ways. Yeah. But there's just something about people just knowing you for who you are before wanting to take that step with you.
That's real, for sure. Yeah. Opinion. And that's why I think people learning how to build friendships is important. I don't think it's bad, obviously, like if there's a light interest, but you need to know how do I build this friendship and it be pure, right? Like, and me not try to, let me just do it because I love this person, I want to know this person, but not to make it go that way. Like that skill set is important. Like, and that takes time to learn. But yeah, because I think that is a really important foundation. But yeah, when people just hop into things, it's like, I mean, it works though.
It works. You know, it works for certain people. Yeah, so you know, and maybe it would work for me. Like maybe I'm putting too much focus on be my friend, be my friend.
Maybe so.
You know, but I'm also kind of like, I want you to like me for all of my messy goofiness, like outside of this, you know. So, yeah. But that's a conversation.
Right.
For another
day.
A
whole nother topic. Right. I don't know.
Choosing a mate.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't even know if we like covered anything of like how you actually go about building friendships, but it's food for thought, right? Like it's like you need to initiate. Even at least for me, I'm seeing people have different mindsets when it comes to. It doesn't mean that my mindset is wrong or your mindset is wrong, but like the goal is intentionality. Like if you want friends, you got to be intentional with it, and then again, just for me. Because again, I'm analytical planner. I need to understand, like I have to ask the question, how can I be a better friend? Like these things, it's uncomfortable, but it's needed. I think I was telling you last week, what I'm starting to call it is breaking the fourth wall of like, instead of I'm passively guessing what you're thinking about me, I'm just going to ask like, when I looked at you that way, did you feel weird? Like, or where are we at in our friendship? Like, I think these conversations are needed, especially if you're not good at building friendships, you know?
Yeah.
So your friends will tell you. They have thoughts about the kind of friend you are, so
that's a good
you
point.
can learn.
That's a good point. Now, do we really want to ask and want to know?
Exactly.
I think people will say we're good friends, hopefully, right? You're a good friend.
I don't know if people think that about me.
I think so.
Thanks.
Well, friendships. Did we learn anything today?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Did you learn something today? We hope you did. But I think what the takeaways I would say is just being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go after those friendships, being intentional. If there's maybe someone else that can be that catalyst,
Mm-hmm.
that they could help you to kind of maneuver in conversation when it's hard.
And have multiple friends.
Have multiple friends.
Yeah, and keep space in your life for other people to become your friend, you know, like remember what it was like when you were new, and reach out to people. And oh my gosh, sorry, I'm not going to go on a tangent, but I'm just going to say this statement. Like, if you know something about someone, like, check in, right? Like, if someone passed in your life and I know it, like, just ask, you know, don't like, just be sincere, like, truly choose to love people. Like, that's what Jesus did. I'm sure none of his disciples, if you are currently watching The Chosen, you can tell they don't got anything in common, and they're learning how to be friends by being in community. Like, so
that is so,
I think we get to do that. We get to go after that. So I'm excited for that, and I'm experiencing it here in South Florida, building friendships. So it's a fun journey. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
I mean, we can go on forever, but we have to wrap.
Right. I was about to say something.
This has been great. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you for the next episode of the Open Room Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.